Okay, so we've had some questions about purchases via the app on loyalty, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that real quick. I'm going to log in to my app, same one that I was in yesterday, and I'm going to set up a loyalty program, and I'm going to set this up as purchases via the app. So I'm going to call this PVAD2 because I've already tried it once to make sure it worked. I'm going to say it's not member limited. You can member limit it if you want. I'm going to say the card does not expire. You can give it an expiration if you want. Here's the difference. Instead of visit based, we're going to go purchases/app, and we're going to say loyalty based on purchases via the app. You can put more commentary in here about how you want people to behave for your curbside, that kind of thing. And I'm going to say this is the 32 ounce Crowler is what it applies to. You can put an image at the top of this card if you want. I'm not going to bother. Is the card free? I'm going to say yes, but you can charge for the card and put a big prize at the end of completing it if you want. I'm going to say it's a 10 punch card. I'm not going to put a prize at 5. Again, if you're having people pay for this card, you might want to. The reward name I'm just going to say is a free Crowler. And at the end of this card, I'm going to go and say, go ahead and repeat this card because it's free. If it were a paid card, you would have, instead of saying repeat, it would say repurchase this card. Or you can do nothing. It's sort of up to you. Works like all the rest of them. So I'm going to save this. All right. So now that's saved. I'm going to do the zoom out, zoom in trick so I can see the phone. And go to loyalty. And you'll see that PVA demo was the one I did earlier to make sure I knew how this worked. And PVA D2 is the one I just made. So I'm going to click on it. Now I'm showing you the user experience. And when you click on it, I have not activated it yet. So I'm going to say yes. And one of the tricks we use to know whether it's been activated is it'll say active up here. PVA D2 says active. And then the other way you typically know if a card is active is when you click on it, you see that scan QR option on the bottom. But this is not based on QR scans, so you're not going to see that option on the bottom. This is based on purchases via the app, and the purchase is a 32 ounce Crowler. So let me show you what that looks like in the user experience. If you watched the video yesterday, you knew that I had Rose's double IPA set up to be a purchase, 32 ounce Crowler. I'm going to put quantity 1. We're going to come back and do quantity 2 because I want to show you something about this. So now it's in here. I'm going to go ahead and say I'm ready to check out. Still, I have the 5% tax set up in here. And I'm going to hit pay. Again, it's going to remember the card that I used on this account. Otherwise, it would take me to a place to enter the card. And any second now, there we go. The item has been purchased successfully. So now I'm going to go back and back and back. And I'm going to go to loyalty. And PVA D2, which is the one I had just activated, which is the one I had just made, now has a punch because I bought a 32 ounce Crowler, and this card gives you punches for doing 32 ounce Crowlers. Now I'm going to do this again to show you that if you do a quantity other than 1, you're still only going to get 1 punch. So same beer. Going to go in here and I'm going to set quantity to 2 instead. All right, it's in the basket. I'm going to go ahead and check out without leaving the tip because I'm evil. Again, using that same card that's tied to the account. We don't save that card information, by the way. That's a token that is passed between us and the merchant services. So that is essentially unhackable. Again, item has been purchased successfully. So I'm going to go back and back and back. And I'm going to go to loyalty. And I'm going to go to PVAD2. You see how I only got one punch. I didn't get two, right? So it's basically looking to see, did that purchase meet the criteria? In which case it did. There was at least one thing in there, but it won't add more punches. Also notice that the punch prior to this just a few minutes ago. So once a day limit is not applied to purchases via the app. So hopefully this helps and it gives you a way to set up loyalty for your curbside.